Fire. Y'all ready?
Yo.
I bet. You already know what it is. Sonik Gemz podcast. We are in the building on this magnificent Friday, coming through to pretty much the world with some great, amazing guests. Let me just introduce myself. I go by the name of H1, aka Swim Khan Swahima Law. We got my man Flacco Dimelo. Dimelo, holla at the people, my brother.
Yo, live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy Flacco, aka Dimelo. You already know what it is. Happy
You already know. You already know. And of course, on the line on this great Friday, we got some special guests. We call this a Sonik Gemz Special Editions, where we highlight some amazing artists, producers, people that pretty much are adding to the culture. And we got none other than Royalty Statements in the building. Holla at them and introduce yourselves, my brothers.
Yeah.
My influence.
Yo.
Do me over here.
I'm Drew. The other half, the Dominican
Royalty
half.
Statements, production duo.
That's what it is.
What's going on?
Dig it.
What's going on, my brothers? How was y'all day going so far, man? How's the Friday going?
Man, super chill. Another day in the life in hot ass Florida.
Yeah. Word up, y'all. Everybody masked up out there? Is everybody masked and gloved up, or that shit kind of calmed down right now?
Yo, not even right now. Like I was rolling down and it seemed like no one give a fuck about this COVID shit right now. The sun is out. It's like a normal day today.
Niggas been indoors long enough. They don't know how to act.
Yeah, that's it for them. It's over.
Traffic is coming back and all. Yo, back to rush hour, man. Back to rush hour shit. Man.
Nah, that's the Atlanta. I don't know how Florida traffic. Where y'all at in Florida?
We in South Florida, man. It's Fort Lauderdale, Broward. It's right there, like it's Miami and Broward, same shit basically.
Absolutely. Okay. So traffic is disgusting. Is it as bad? Because traffic in Atlanta is disgusting, like donkey nuts out here. So I want to know if it's as bad over there.
Yeah, man. Traffic is horrible out here, bro. You know how it is. Anytime you're in a major city, traffic is gonna be trash, man. It's like from 6 a.m. to 11, you get morning rush, then you get a little break, and then 3 to 7, 8 o'clock is nighttime rush. You never really catch that break.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, it's the same shit here, bro. It's the same shit here. But like you said, I guess it's the same shit in every fucking city. It's always the same.
All in its own way.
Absolutely, 100%. But we wanted to start off this great interview, just trying to get a background on these fellas to kind of showcase their talent, let us know where they come from, what they do, how they do it, when they started doing it, and so on and so forth. So we'll start off by asking you guys, so individually, where are you guys from in the States, and culturally, where are you guys from?
Okay, born and raised Brooklyn, New York. Well, raised between New York, moved to Haiti when I was young with my parents, with my dad, my stepmom, and whatnot, and yeah. Haitian.
And yeah.
Haitian, that's what I'm saying. Brooklyn, New York, born and bred Haitian, man.
Yeah. I'm Dominican, right? Culturally Dominican, both parents Dominican, but I was born in New Jersey, and then moved to Florida, and then I was kind of back and forth, and then I've been in Florida, who knows for how long. Came to Miami for college, and then I liked it so much, and so I stayed.
Nice.
So
nice.
how is it that y'all two met? How did y'all cross paths? Yo, we frat brothers, man. We fraternity brothers, same frat, but we ain't go to the same school. Okay. I went to college. I went to college in North Miami, and he was going to school in Boca. Yeah, in Boca. I pledged before him, so I was like one of the brothers that was in charge of like his intake process into our frat. And then we both found out that we had the music thing in common, and it was like, yo, let's see what we can do, man. What's poppin', my nigga? So
word. Exactly. That's perfect, yo. What interested me about you fellas was I came across, and this is just how my introduction to you guys happened. I came across an article, and the article was just talking about this collaboration between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. and it was an article about you guys. And I was like, holy shit. So the first one I called was that nigga. I was like, other niggas doing the same shit that we doing. And he was like, what? No way possible. I'm like, yeah, son, I just found these dudes. And then I hit up Doomy right there, like on the gram, like it was popping, just wanted to introduce it. He was like, I'm from Brooklyn too. I'm like, every Haitian is from Brooklyn. Yeah. What a surprise, nigga. Like, it's the same shit. So that's how I was introduced with you guys. And I was like, man, they do the same things that we do, have the same love and passion for music and just the arts and just the culture that we do, which is quite, you know, I don't want to say surprising, but it was just kind of ill that you guys were doing the same thing that we were doing at the same time that we were doing it. What year was you guys' inception into the whole joint? Like, when did you guys like come together and say we're gonna do music? What year was that?
I mean, it's been what? Like, it's been 3 years now.
Like 2016.
2016, 2017-ish. Yeah. It was kind of in that gray zone, 2016, 2017. But we had already been kind of collaborating on stuff together. Like when we were in school, I used to throw a party, and he used to DJ
Blue Magic,
the party. Yeah,
baby.
It was called Blue Magic.
Nice.
And like,
Nice.
Yo, no lie. I promise you, this was the most at that time, the most popping college party.
Hands down.
We grew it from like a 20-person house party to we started getting over 1,000 people showing up to like multi-level venues, and this was a college party. But then, you know, you finish college and it's like, well, what the hell happens now?
What's next? Yeah.
And so from there, like we both like
we talked about doing like the production duo thing, and then opportunities just came up where I went to China. So DJ had a few residencies at different clubs. At the same time, Drew had an internship with the affiliates.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta. With DJ Drama my senior year in college. I was out with Drama doing the Gangsta Grillz album run. So I wound up going with Drama like all over the country. And after that, yeah, there was no more college party. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And then
super upgrade, bro. Super upgrade.
Yeah, man. We just we came back at the same time, and we're just at that point where it's like, yo, we gotta take this. If we're gonna do this music shit, we gotta take it to the next level. What can we do? How can we get together and fucking make this shit happen? And then royalty statements came about.
Yeah, it started off like we were gonna do a web series. Like a scripted web series. We were trying to figure out, like, yo, what's a unique way that we can distribute our music?
Cut through the noise.
Yeah, let's make a web series scripted, and we got mad people, and we shot this web series, and we were gonna score it. And then, like, in the middle of the editing of the web series, it was like, yo, nobody on this web series is an actor. This shit is trash.
Word.
Yo,
it's a lot of work, man.
It was a lot of work. But honestly, that was the foundation of like that really got us like focused on, all right, yo, let's focus on the music. And as we started meeting people, we started realizing that they would be surprised that, yo, he's Haitian, you Dominican. Like, I feel like for us it was no big deal. This is my dog. So I never even thought twice about like, yo, damn, this is like an impactful thing we're doing. But the more and more people we ran into and the more people we told what we're doing, they would be amazed at like, yo, how do you guys deal with that dynamic of Haitian and Dominican? So we decided to really like, I'll say embrace that cultural identity, because for both of us, like we're part of the same fraternity, and our fraternity stresses like cultural identity a lot. So that was already part of what we did, but I think we were looking at royalty statements as just music at first, like just an opportunity to be creative. And I think what it evolved into was really a way for us to be creative, but make a statement that like, yo, despite what people assume we're supposed to behave like, yo, not only can we get along, but yo, this is my brother. I love this.
That's my man. Yeah. And that's exactly how I feel with Age. Like my introduction to y'all, like he told me about y'all, and my first thing I was like, yo, we got doppelgangers out here. Okay. You know, and we on our Earth too. I'm like, hold up, Dominican, Haitian, all right, we doing the same. I could dig it. So from when he told me, I bothered him until he sent me the link to see what y'all got. And like for like 2 days, I'm like, yo, with the link, yo, with the link, yo, with the link, yo, with the link. I hit him at 7 in the morning, like, yo, with the link. I'm like,
I'm like, nigga, I'm at work, bro. I'm at super work right now, nigga. I sent it.
Like, I wanted to catch him right before he walked in, so he wouldn't forget. But when I finally got it, and I got on the SoundCloud, and I fell in love. I ain't gonna front, B. Like
appreciate that, man. Appreciate
yo,
that.
I saw the videos from Dale Mambo to Japa again. Them joints is hitting, B. So I'm like, oh snap, okay. But I love it. Y'all see this in a few of y'all videos. There's two of the main dudes that be rolling with y'all.
That's the young homies, man. So as we were building up, like we started kind of building like the people that would be around. So the tall kid is Julian. He used to, we own a studio in Broward.
Okay.
So the tall kid used to be our intern. He went to audio engineering school. He interned for us, and he just became like the little homie. He became our brother. He's Brazilian and Panamanian.
Nice.
And then the other dude that be with us, cover. The other dude is Medi Boy, and he was friends with my brother, my younger brother, when they were going to college together. And he would just kind of come around, and then wound up discovering that he got like a real talent for songwriting. And so because of that, we kind of took him under the wing and are trying to develop him as an artist too. And they just became part of that brotherhood. And that's what I say, like our mission, our purpose kind of evolved. It went from just being my dog and me making music to like, yo, nah, man, this is its own brotherhood of creative dope niggas. And we can all express our culture, and we can all infuse our different cultural elements to make something that's real unique. And obviously, because we started it, right, we're gonna stand on that Haitian and Dominican unity platform, because that's what's allowed us to build the momentum we do have. But really, the goal is to explore all these different cultures and sounds in a real authentic way with real people who understand it, and hopefully make an impact, not just in the Haitian and Dominican community, but be able to take that beyond, you know?
Beyond there, and each and every culture.
That's right.
Absolutely. The name Royal Statements. I'm sorry, D-Melo, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because I saw a quote a long time ago, and I fell in love with it, and it said, united by culture, just divided by water.
Boom. Yeah. That's it, man.
That's it. I mean, that hit it on the nose, and I feel the same way y'all do with as far as expanding the boundaries of what our culture represents in the world.
Nah, for sure. And it's funny because our boy Med, the shorter one that we be with, he's Sudanese. He's from Africa, and it's crazy, right? You think he's from the other side of the world, but there's so many similarities, bro. From even the language, like he'll be speaking Arabic. And there's times that I speak Spanish and I'll understand what he's saying.
Yeah, those languages are related.
Bro, the foods that they eat, the music, there's so many similarities. And a lot of times we like to isolate ourselves and think that we're just in our own bubble.
In our own world, but we're so much alike, we don't even know it.
Until you start exploring it. And you understand and you can appreciate where the other people are coming from and maybe how they infuse and influence your culture and you weren't even aware yet.
Right, exactly.
How did you guys get the name Royalty Statements?
I don't remember. We was on his couch.
Yeah, we were at the crib, man. The whole idea of Royalty Statements was we're primarily producers, right? We're like producer artists. So for us, we tell people, you know, kind of like Neptunes, kind of like Major Lazer, kind of like the Knox. So just to give people a foundation of comparable producer artists. So being that we're producers at our core, the whole idea of Royalty Statements was really kind of a pun or like a joke on the idea of collecting royalty checks, right? So as producers, like we're looking forward to getting those royalty statements in the mail, but it's like multi-layered. It's infused with all the connotations that anytime you hear the word royalty, really you think about being a king, right? We're trying to make the statement. Yeah, we're trying to make the statement that you can be royalty in your realm, and me being a king of my realm doesn't diminish what you're able to do.
Fantastic, fantastic. I thought that was a very cool name, and so royalty statements is literally collecting bread. Basically, you get your money.
Yeah, man, collect that bread, get the money, man.
Get it? That's what it is.
Yo, that is fire, bro. That is fire. I thought niggas was like, we making king statements. Niggas like, that's what I we make king statements on niggas. That's what the first thing that popped in my head.
You're on ASCAP and BMI, you see on the whoever's registered on the left tab is royalty statements. It's literally there. You click on it, and it's where your money's coming in.
That is awesome, man. That is so fucking creative to like take that to say that that's the name of the collective. So the collective is how many of you all together, literally?
At its core, right? It's me and Doomy, and then it's +2, Jacob and Medi Boy. So it's 4 of us total right now. You know, there's the homies that be around and stuff, but I would say we are the core 4 creative forces behind it.
Fantastic. That is fantastic. That is super dope. You know what? What you said earlier was extremely important in the dynamic of your relationship in your group and your production and what you guys do, as well as what we do on our end as well. And the reason why I kind of stress that is because the history between our one island but 2 different countries is extremely difficult. It's not an easy one. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. The dynamic is extremely bloody. It's extremely racist. It's extremely any adjective you want to add to it, you probably can when it comes down to it. To a place that's on one plot of land, necessarily separated by one long ass border. Now, with that being said, on either end, have you guys faced any, let's say,
like backlash
from either the Dominican side or the Haitian side, and saying, yo, don't rock over here or don't rock over here? Or
all the time. Like, if in that same article, I think, because I'm pretty sure the article you're talking about is the Lunar Suite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in that same article, when they posted it on Facebook, the comment thread was crazy, like hundreds of comments. And it's funny because the majority of the comments, especially I think from second generation American born Haitians and Dominicans, it tends to be supportive, but you'll see a lot of people that be like, yo, how could you do this? To him, they was like, yo, how could you call yourself Haitian? And to me, they were like, yo, fuck that Dominican nigga. That guy's not your friend. But overwhelmingly, I feel like, especially again, like second generation, people born here or who have lived their lives here, I think they understand. Like, what we're trying to do is not politically driven. This is just a genuine brotherhood. And it's not trying to negate the history on the island, but what it's trying to do is say, yo, that despite the history, you and I can be brothers. You and I can work together and make dope shit. You and I can make an impact that can potentially really make a change back on the island.
Factory.
Facts. Yep, absolutely.
Factory. And I'll ask you, Flak, what did you think about that statement? Like, as far as me and you working together, did you ever face that same kind of backlash? No, I know, you know what I mean, or that same kind of sentiment.
I haven't personally, but I mean, our circle's a small circle, so we already knew each other. But I personally haven't gotten any of that type of response. If anything,
what's crazy for me is I was telling him recently, like, growing up, I never had any experience with my family ever saying any kind of like negativity about Haiti, right?
And that's how
my family. What I would always hear, the rivalry in my house was about Puerto Ricans. There was no Dominican Haitian rivalry. There was Dominican Puerto Rican rivalry.
Puerto Rican, yeah.
So yep. really, like, for me, Haitians, like the Haitians that I did know was just people I knew. Thankfully I never grew up with that ingrained in me, that negativity. So I was able to, once I met him and once I started being involved in more Haitian circles, because the crazy thing is after I did affiliates, I managed a Haitian nightclub in North Miami. Like I was the manager of a Haitian club, bro. So I was able to go into all these experiences fully open-minded. Thankfully, like I said, nobody ever poisoned me like that. But I started seeing that as we started developing what we're doing. I started seeing like, oh damn, this is really kind of a big deal.
Bro, on YouTube the other day, literally on YouTube the other day, we had this dude, Haitian dude, comment on one of our vlogs when I was in DR for Christmas break. He's like, yo, did you fall on your head? Did you forget that you were Haitian? They do not like us, bro. What are you doing over there? Like straight up.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you what's crazy is because the experiences that people get when they go to places sometimes isn't the most favorable. And a lot of times when you don't live that, you tend to not maybe see it, because you may have a positive experience and other people may have a negative experience. You know what I mean? Where I'm from in Haiti, right, is literally 40 minutes from the border to DR, right? So when you get to that border, there's a lot of friction in that border. So I experience a lot of racism and negativity at that border. But then sometimes when you go past the border, no one gives a fuck, right? Everyone is kind of like, we chilling on this side, or we're chilling on this side. It's not really a thing. But then you do see the inner conflicts that happens, which is why you get comments like that. So when you went to the DR for Christmas, am I correct?
Yeah.
So how was your experience being there as a Haitian man, being in a DR during Christmas time, a big major holiday?
For me, it was chill as fuck. It was just like visiting any random country. You know what I mean? Like I actually seen some Haitians just down the street in the colonial zone. And it was just chill. They was walking down the street, and I think they obviously lived there because I could tell with the way they were talking. And but for me, I didn't get any of that because I stayed in the capital for the most part. And I don't know, maybe if I had gone deeper somewhere, but on the surface from the stuff I was doing, none. It was just chill. I was just another black dude.
That's one of the things I tell people, like both sides, we all come in different shades and colors. Like, how you gonna tell who's who? I get both.
Yeah, I was probably Dominican to them too.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Haiti with him last year. We were there for like 11 days. Was it last year? Right? Whenever World Cup was. We shot the Dale Mambo video in Haiti.
Nice.
Like I was there, and I tell you, I never had any negative experiences, bro. I enjoyed. I felt like everybody just treated me like another person there.
You know, was no crazy. Like, that's my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
that's the thing I like about that video, because it's not more so about the music, but y'all just in the moment. Yeah. Like, I don't know who that dude was with the headphones that flipped the bird on you when he was on the that shit was simple, but it was hilarious. Like, he was like, fuck that, this is my shit right here.
Yeah, that's one of his good friends. He lives in Haiti.
Yeah.
His name's Ali. Shout out Ali.
Not Prince Ali?
Nah, that's my other boy.
Okay.
Another Ali, yeah.
I got you. Okay.
That's what's up, man.
It was hilarious. I just see him from the jump where he just got up with the headphones and he just moved like, fuck all y'all niggas.
Yeah, it was a whole storyline behind the video. It was basically Ali he was like, it's his day off, so he chilling. And then we were like following him throughout his day. You know what I mean? So he got up, he was like, yo, I'm gonna hit the streets. I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah,
jump on the car, I don't give a fuck. It's my day off, you know what I mean? I'm gonna drink my Prestige.
Word, which I don't have. I'm out right now. I should have got some before I came into this.
No, messed up. We ain't got nothing. Just
Dude.
water.
Just water. Oh man.
Yo, so with that, what makes that, and everything that we're talking about, just as far as the unity aspect of things, what makes that Or do you guys think that that's the most important aspect of what you guys do? Or, and I should add, is that your bigger goal is your bigger goal for unity, or is your bigger goal for saying each of us are going to do our individual things, we're going to come together as a group and each kind of take care of each other's side? Or is it more of a collaborative situation for both of you where it's kind of like, oh, we're going to unify, we're going to uplift this entire group of people? Because I'll tell you, the reason I ask that is because that's kind of like our mission statement, I would say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, uniting the island into one specific dynamic. And Drew, I think you said something like important when you said, you know, it's the older generation that had that ideal. You know what I mean? In the newer generation, I think, is more open. Because I mean, let's be frank. I mean, the older generation, they didn't have the internet. Everyone kind of stayed in their respective pockets, and whatever you were being fed and programmed, that's kind of what you dealt with. You didn't really know anything outside of that. So us as younger folks, we come in and we kind of are able to decipher what's real and what's not, especially from our own physical interactions with our brothers, you know what I mean, within where we are. So would you guys say that that's your main goal or your main mission statement or main royalty statement?
I think the main goal is to lead by example, right? To show that we have a genuine brotherhood and that we really, really respect the cultures that we come from and the cultures that we're trying to drive. I think unity among the other people, right? People of the island and people that get to experience and deal with us in general, that unity, what that is the most important byproduct of the interaction. So I have to have a strong relationship with him as my brother first. That has to be the primary goal in order for us to move forward and make the content that we think will impact. But yes, the goal after that is that content will impact those people who consume it, and those people will be more open-minded to experiencing brotherhood and culture of other people around them that maybe they were maybe they were closed off to that previously.
Say that one more time, Doomy.
Brotherhood, culture, hustle.
Nice.
Those are the three pillars of ours. And just to add this, I just wanted to add that on because I felt like he's gonna miss out. You know what I mean? So I had to throw that in. But yeah, man, I agree with it, man. It's the unity, man. We're doing what we're doing out of love, and we just showing the world that it exists. You know, we weren't born. No one's born hating each other. Obviously, this shit it's learned. You know what I mean?
I like what you said about it being programmed. And I think the only way to deprogram it, right, is with new programming. And so that's the point of what I was saying with the content, right? We're creating the new programming. We're writing the new code to make people understand that, oh, you don't have to think that way.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And I think that's super dope. And I think it's necessary. I think we all have a very important mission, and that shit is not gonna be easy. You know what I mean? And I think the difficulty of it is what's going to make it more beautiful at the end. Because again, you know, I think it's more, you know, I've given up on, I don't want to say given up, but I've kind of, I don't want to say look past the older generation with shit, but I mean, we got to take the good out of it and then leave the bad behind, right? That's the only way to move forward. There's no other way. Because we're always going to be dealing with shit from the past. It's always going to come up and haunt us. It's just the way life goes. So if we don't, conduct ourselves and have that mission statement, then there's no way for it to happen. And specifically, what fraternity are you guys part of?
Lambda Sigma Upsilon.
Nice. So, Dimelo, you have a question?
Huh?
I thought you were gonna ask something.
Oh no! I was just saying what's up. I was just saying respect on the frat.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what makes you guys unique? What makes royalty statements unique? And what separates you guys from other groups, duos? What makes you guys who you are?
I think
outside of just culturally.
Outside of culturally, I mean, well, it's hard to say outside of culture just because that is such an important part. But I think another very important part of what we do is the overall creativity, not just the fact that we're able to sit in the studio and make beats. But what we try to do is really create an all-encompassing vision. The videos that we put out, we shoot ourselves. The songs that we're making the tracks. We're working in the studio with these artists, helping them to create a complete creative vision. I think what we're doing is approaching our music as a complete project, not just as guys who are making songs. So when we're sitting there making a track, once we're starting the track, we're thinking of, all right, what is this song about? What can the video be about? And what can we do to get the message about this song out before it's even complete? Even to the point of
start to finish.
Yeah, start to finish. Even from the point of like the people that we have worked with. When we work on a record with certain artists, like for example, we're getting ready to put out our first like actual official project. It's called Hispaniola versus the World. And the people that are on
Fire.
bro, the people that are on this project, I don't know if y'all familiar with like Canis.
One of my favorite, son. I saw that shit. I ain't gonna lie, I was mad jealous. I was like, damn, he's damn. These niggas got me in the sling.
Right there, man. I feel like Canis, she's the fifth royalty statement. Like whenever she's around, she's over here and we working, we cooking up. So like, let's say for example, we working with her, like we're all together working on the concept. We're all together writing lyrics. We're all together working on the production. It coincides with what we were saying about brotherhood. Our process is what makes us unique. The fact that we're really genuinely trying to be inclusive and complete this full vision, not just hanging in the lab working on another record.
We don't got beat packs laying around to shop to artists. We rather be included in the whole process.
Make it more personal.
Yeah, man. And when you make it personal, one, you come out with, I think, what is a more impactful product.
Absolutely.
It's more personal to you. So I think
it's always better when
you
it's
had
real.
set aside. Right?
It's always better when it's real.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't separate the cultural side, because the cultural side and that brotherhood working together is what makes us unique. Having a Haitian and a Dominican with hip hop backgrounds doing Caribbean influenced music, that's the unique side. But it's that culture that made it possible.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That is beautiful. So how would you guys describe your sound? I'm going to take it back one quick step, though. That's part B of the question. Let me ask part A. I went totally back. But like, what was you guys' individual influences growing up music-wise? In other words, was it mainly, was it mainly hip-hop? Was it R&B? Was it, world music? And then from that, how did that grow into what you guys do as far as your sound?
For me, it was, let's say, I want to say dance hall, beginning like Shaka Demus and like, being in New York on Flatbush and whatnot, you hear that music playing heavy. So it was a lot of dance hall and then Sweet Mickey on the compa side.
Yes, sir.
And then is the hip hop side. On the hip hop side, I want to say like, for me, it was a lot more like, it started off artist based, like, fucking Jay-Z and whatnot. And then I got more into it. Then looking into like producers like fucking Timbaland and Pharrell. So it's kind of like just everything, basically.
Mash up all the styles.
All right, that's awesome. And what about you, Drew?
So anytime we do any interview or anything, I always take a second to shout out one of my mentors along the way, right? Was Bronze Nazareth. He's a producer he's one of the Wu-Tang producers. He used to be part of what they call Wu Elements. So for me, my foundation is hardcore East Coast backpacky hip hop stuff. That's the foundation. But like so it's Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep. But I grew up in church, and I used to play the drums in church. Like I grew up, my mother was the choir director in church. My grandfather was the pastor. He played trumpet and he played accordion. So I grew up influenced by a lot of different styles from church. My father is a dope guitarist. He plays a lot of blues and like classic rock. So I grew up listening to a lot of different stuff. I
played in salsa band.
I played in the salsa. I played percussion in the salsa band.
Hey.
Yeah, man. So I had a lot of different influences coming up, but it was hip hop that got me into really wanting to be a producer. Like when I first heard sampled beats and I couldn't understand how they got that sound like that, I started going in like message boards and looking up producers and emailing them. Mm-hmm. And that's how I wound up linking up with Bronze Nazareth. And I started mailing him beat CDs. So I'm a kid mailing him CDs, and he would email me back critique, telling me, yo, I like this, but you got to fix your snare. You got to do that. And that was what kind of like woke up my desire to really be a producer. So I already had that musical background, but that interaction, that's why I say anytime we do any of these things, like I shout them out, because that interaction made it feel real. Like, damn, somebody that I respect took the time to respond to me. I could do this. This is a real thing. This guy, he exists and he's talking to me.
Facts.
Thinking about that is like, for me, what really, really piqued my interest or going into like different styles is when I started DJing. And I started DJing because I didn't know how to play any instruments. And I wanted to produce before I started DJing. So I figured, yo, DJing was the closest thing to it. But it was really DJing that kind of made me feel the need to really, really kind of get back to it. And then this guy right here, he's basically, Drew is like my producer mentor. He's like the only person. he was like the real person that kind of like really helped me with production wise. Because before that, it was really just DJing for me.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. D-Melo, explain to them your musical background as well. Tell them about how you got started in hip hop and what made hip hop so dope to you, and like your background as far as music as well.
Well, shit, like, you know, Doomy said earlier, growing up in New York, you hear that shit all over the place.
How you, man?
It's hard not to fall in love. I grew up in a Dominican household, so bachata, merengue, salsa. You know, God, my mom, dude, God forbid, it was hip hop around. Somebody diablo, no, haga eso. But you know, once you get old enough, you go out on your own thing. You start learning about yourself. You start picking up different things. And hip hop was one of the first loves. My older brother but he did inspire me to start writing and doing my own music, and I've been doing it ever since like 13.
All right, I like that. I like that, man. That's a dope story. And that's fun. That's why I always say I shout out Bronze Nazareth, because it's important to have those mentors, man. You just said your big brother put you on. Like, we all need somebody that makes us feel like, yo, I could really do this. And it's like been like that. Like, he's always been the one. If nobody cared what my music sounded like, if he said it was dope, that's all that matters.
All that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Facts.
I mean, he showed me the ropes, he put me on, and now creating my own thing with it, and this is what I got.
Dope, man. I like that. Shout out to Big Bro.
Shout out to Big Bro. Shout out
Big Bro.
What up, baby?
Shout out. Everybody got a very similar story on how they kind of came into music. Mine was kind of like the same in a sense. I grew up in the house. I'm the last of like mad kids. So like dead ass. Like I always tell my pops, like, you just wanted to get one last nut, but you ain't know you was getting a nigga out of that shit. Like I tell him that shit all the time. My dad was old, so my dad was 55 when he had me, bro. Yo, telling you, bro, he was not looking for that shit at all, son. Like, it was not supposed to happen, like, at all. And I was the only one born.
Dads don't play, man.
Done. That nigga was dead ass serious, bro. Like, I was like, well, thanks. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, you know, because I wouldn't have been here otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I was the only one born. I was the only one born here in the States. Like, literally the same couple of months they pulled up. And then it was like my mom got pregnant. And then here I am. You know what I mean? So I grew up in a house with all my brothers played the guitar and bass and shit, and my sister sang in the choir, and church was like, I guess for every West Indian household, church is like the main staple. That's where you go. That's where you go congregate. This is where you go, you know, meet up with people that have the same thoughts and influences and from the same place that you are and shit like that. So that's just kind of what it was. I was never privy to, I don't want to say privy, but I was never that great in picking up instruments. But my pops, one day, this was back in the day, I ain't gonna tell you I'm an old nigga, but let me tell you, back in the day, that's when the bootlegs, that's when they used to sell bootleg cassette tapes, right? So I'm like 6. I thought this was like real tapes. I didn't know that this was like fake. Yeah, I thought this was like how people sold music. I was like, yeah, you go to this nigga across the street in front of the Blimpies. He's selling the tapes. And you buy the tape. And I walked by this dude, and he was like, yo, you know, you should buy your son a tape. And my dad was like, my dad doesn't listen to hip hop music. He's an old ass Haitian dude. He was like, whatever. And I was like, Dad, I want a tape. And he let me pick a tape, and I picked MC Shan, Down by Law. I'll never forget it. Changed everything in my life from that moment. That was like the inception of hip hop to me, and everything changed after that. I was like, I'm not picking up a damn instrument except the microphone. That's all I do. And that's how hard it hit me. And then of course with everything else, like Dumi was saying with reggae, and then the same way, because we lived above a bodega. So all I heard was salsa, merengue, bachata all day long, going downstairs to steal ices from these niggas. That's all I heard. Was that Icy's annihilated, son? I theft mad at them shits from these niggas. So that's all that it was. So our influences are very similar, coming from, you know, and I think that's what makes, you know, that's what makes the music, you know, so great. And the fact that you guys work with so many great artists from so many different backgrounds, you know, I'm sure that it has expanded your palette as far as your production, just in general. Would you guys say that?
Of course, man. This project, again, Hispaniola versus the world, bro. The reason it's called Versus the World is because we really are tapping into like all these different world beat sounds. At its core is Haitian and Dominican sound, but we're working with Serrani. We got a record on there with Jim Jones. We got a record with Kid Lajan Slim. Like,
nice.
Super Duper Humble's Bahamian.
I think he's like St. Lucian.
Bro, we tapping into all these different vibes. The kid Jacob that be with us, the tall one, he's Brazilian. We got 2 Brazilian sound records on here. So it's, again, like we were saying earlier, it's kind of finding a way to use that cultural unity that we've developed and embracing the collaborators' background and what their influence is, and being really authentic to all bring the spices into a recipe that tastes good at the end. Because you could throw a bunch of shit in the pot and it don't come out good. It's everybody sitting together in unity and having the knowledge to say, you know what? Yo, we going to hold off on a little bit of that cayenne pepper right now, but we're going to add that chicken stock. Oh, damn, that shit. Yo, we're going to put some legume. We're going to put some, mix it all up, and come out with something that's delicious.
Word. That's unbelievable, bro.
Culture.
Come out with some sancocho, nigga.
Yeah. Love that. I love that.
I'm hungry
now. I love that. So,
yo, man, once the world is fully back open, we're gonna do
a trip up there.
We're gonna do a release party for the project, man. If y'all want to come down, yo, you got personal
man.
Yo,
listen, already said
one of my questions too.
We already said we crashing y'all niggas shit hard body. I didn't even know.
For sure.
Studio.
And like I said, we got the lab over here, bro. It's time to work. Come through. Let's work. Let's get it,
bro.
Oh, we in there like swimming. Yo, I'm renting the van next week. 14.
Let's do
14 sessions are in order.
Let's get it. Time to cook up. Cook up.
That is an absolute fact, son. We definitely down, son. You just had to put that out there. I'm glad.
Yo, listen, like I was happy, but I didn't want to push it.
You know what I mean? We didn't want to overstep, but we was definitely like, we about to go and see these niggas. You already know, right?
Niggas better stay there.
You know what I mean?
Y'all the Atlanta brothers. That's it, man. That's y'all family. I feel like we all on the same mission, man. We all trying to do fly, dope shit, be creative, and really push and authentically push forward our culture, man. We got the movement is the same. we might as well unite and really make an impact.
That's a million percent.
You couldn't have said it any better.
I'm telling you, bro. I am telling you. How do you guys feel the sound? I'm sorry, real quick. Are you guys on a time limit?
No, we're at our studio. We're good.
Okay,
nobody's
cool.
booked right now.
Phone is plugged up.
Phone is charging. Yeah, shit ain't dying. We straight.
All right.
Sweet, perfect. How would you guys? Do you guys think that in this day and age with music, that it affects your sound in a sense, or do you guys allow it to? Because there are things that are popular out right now. Like I can't really tell you too about who's a popular person. What's that? Kalani. All of that kind of sound right now, I think is like the shit that's kind of general. I'm wrong, but yeah, it's that kind of shit. That kind of emo R&B high pitched shit. That's kind of like the thing that's happening. Do you guys let the today's sound affect what you guys do, or do you guys just say this is where we at? This is our sound. This is our world, and we're gonna give that to our artists and the people that we work with?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think every scenario is going to be different. Every artist you're working with is going to be different. What I think the goal has to be, depending on who you're working with, is make something that feels like it's relevant today, but make it in your voice. Because at the end of the day, if we were just making the shit that we want to make, I'll sit here and chop up samples all day on a fucking beat pad and just go crazy making fucking trap, New York club shit or dark boom bap shit. Like, but you can't do that. You have to allow yourself to be open to other styles, but bring your authentic self to it. So I think that's kind of what we try to do, especially when we're collaborating with another artist. You want to let them have a voice and have a say in what the final outcome is. Absolutely. But what we're not doing is listening to the radio and trying to imitate the sound that we're hearing there. Absolutely.
D-Malo, why don't you tell them a little bit of describe your sound of music, what you like in music, your style of hip hop, and what you think you bring unique to the table.
Because I'm dope, that's why.
Hey.
I got the sauce. I got the sauce.
Yeah. Put those song on there. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But coming up in New York, you got the Dominican background and the hip hop background. Being in New York, being in Atlanta, a couple other places, you learn to take those experiences and make it and put them into words, paint a picture out of it. And every time I hear a track, I'm already seeing a movie on what I want to say. So I don't really have a lane I want to go. I go with the feel.
Exactly. I would say the same as well. I would definitely say the same as well. I'm all about it being, I don't know how to say music is flighty, I like it to change. I never want it to kind of be the same. Even on the same track, I want it to change up.
I think that's the beauty of the era we're in. I think we're in the era, we're talking about younger generations. I think the generation now understands that you don't have to be singular, right? Where before, back in the day, I think there was an era where if you were a gangster rapper, you had to be a gangster. If you were an emo rapper, you had to be emo. I think the generation now understands that human beings are multi-layered individuals. Sometimes I'm going to be sad. Sometimes I'm going to want to fight. Sometimes I'm going to be happy. And the music is going to reflect that variety of emotion. It has to if it's going to be authentic.
It's going to be authentic. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Authenticity, probably the most important word in any musical form on earth is authenticity. I think that's the shit that's missing from music now. And I think you make a good point, Drew, in saying that, now the world is kind of more open. People have more. I still, what's crazy is that I think the world is definitely open. I still think motherfuckers got closed ears though. I listen to I'm serious, because I listen to all kinds of shit. I pull up to go pick this nigga up and Flock is why are you listening to Chinese tracks? I'm like, 'cause this shit's hot.
It's hot. That's it.
This shit is fire, son. And then he'll start spitting a rhyme, and then that's it. All of a sudden, it's like, yo, we just got a whole joint. Like, this is just, and I love that. I love the expansion of like sounds and the way that we look at things. But like from a different aspect, just to switch the tone a bit, business-wise, how is this time now as far as the availability of music, streams, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? How has that affected your business as far as, do you see that it's more inclusive to people, so that you saw people are more into, because that's how I discovered you guys, was on Instagram. So do you see that the media platforms are kind of introducing more people to what you guys are doing? Or do you still think that the kind of, maybe the brick and mortar kind of ways of doing shit, like, you know, the old school way, getting the label, then getting out there, and then, you know, kind of thing, like, what do you guys think is the most, do you guys think that it's profitable right now, basically, for you guys doing it in the way that we're doing it now in this time?
I mean, for us, it's DIY or die. We're running an independent hustle. I think with the availability of all these platforms, you gotta use it to your advantage, and that's where you gotta get creative in figuring out how to rise above the noise, and that's basically it. You figure out that part, and then you want to get consistent with your content, because of all the shit that's coming in, we need to be in your faces. You know what I mean?
I always look at Deezus and Mero, like Bodega Boys.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously do a podcast, right? They're not you know, musicians, producers, but it's the same thing. They built a fan base, one, organically. Like, if you listen to their story, they just started interacting with each other on Twitter, and they were like, damn, I think I fuck with this nigga. Oh, damn, we kind of know each other.
Yeah. Word.
But from there, once they started really like building a fan base, they were consistent with their output. And that is something that a lot of people are missing. So to your original question of like, you know, is it better now or in the old brick and mortar days? I think it's a little bit of both, right? It's a gift and a curse. The gift is, if you're able to be consistent and you're able to do it all the time and get above the noise, anybody has the opportunity to cut through. With money, without money, you can make it, but you got to figure out your path to get through all the other motherfuckers that say they want to make it too.
Yeah,
and you gotta then deliver. You gotta deliver to those people on a regular basis. If those people are expecting shit Friday 8 o'clock, you better have shit Friday 8 o'clock. Because if not, somebody else will.
Facts.
That is a fact. Absolutely.
That is a super fact. Super fact. Demon Low, your thoughts, my brother.
Shit, you gotta get in and go right now. If you hot, make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to do it. I mean, niggas do simple shit and pop off. So now their whole rest of their life is trying to keep that light flowing. So if you don't, you gotta take it and run with it.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
One of the things I like, cause y'all outside of music, y'all express yourselves however y'all want. Like, I saw a video where Doomy, what was it? Cheeto dust.
Cheeto dust.
I was like, who comes up with this shit? It's like, how I get my beard so honey like? I'm like, Cheeto dust. Like, what the fuck?
You know, the funny thing is that was a response to some nigga trolling.
Yeah.
Like, he had posted a picture of the beard, and the guy commented something along the lines of like, yo, I don't care, nigga, your beard looks like Cheeto dust. So like, yo, word, Cheeto dust, nigga, that's funny as fuck. All right, bet, Cheeto dust, nigga, let's go.
Yo, I saw that. I was like, yo, that's definitely the way to keep your head in the game.
Yo, that is so damn fire. Which leads to my next question, Mr. Doomy, man. So what's up with the beard colors? This is gonna be my question. Where did that come in? Where did it? Because I'm gonna be honest. The first time I saw it, right, I was scrolling and I saw the change, and I flipped right. I was like, "That's not the same, nigga. That's impossible." Like, your beard was like one color, and then the next day it was like something else. So, what sparked the change in the beard color?
Yo, it's just literally, man. This is my statement piece of the year. This is it. This is for that same exact question you asked me. Like, yo, it's for you to question who the fuck is this guy? What is he doing? it's to put the spotlight on me, man, because the plan is to come out. This year we making noise with everything that we doing. So I'm like, yo, the only way to do it for me, I need people to pay more attention to me. So boom.
It's I feel like it's about being unafraid to be in the spotlight. A lot of times as creative people, right? We say we want people to hear our shit, we want people to fuck with it, but
a lot of creatives are introverts. We don't really want
to exactly, man. At the end of the day, you don't want to hear the critique. So I feel like with him doing the beard and just other things that we have coming along, like it's about being unafraid of the spotlight. Like, yo, you want to be successful, then do what it takes to be successful. You can't hide in the shadows and shine at the same time.
Yeah. Facts. Super facts.
Bars.
Super, yeah, bars, nigga. Bars. Bars.
Sonik Gemz, baby.
Yeah, you can't hide it. That's a definite fact, man. That is it. So who each of you, I'm gonna ask each of you this question. So Doomy, we'll start with you, bro. Who are some of your favorite artists? Like people that you think that you fucked with, these are the guys, these are your go-tos, your favorite guys.
Like currently?
At any time, it doesn't even matter.
Of all time. Fuck. Shit. Let's see. Of all time, I like Michael Jackson.
Universal.
That's Universal. I gotta throw that out there. Who else? Fuck, man, I hate this question. Michael, today, who's
your favorite artist today?
So, I'm just throwing randoms. I'm throwing in randoms and some currents. So let's throw in some Michael. Let's throw in some Jay-Z. Let's throw in some Biggie. Let's throw in some. I'm listening to Jadena right now. Fuck with him heavy. I like St. John.
I fucks with St. John.
yeah. Damn, fuck, I don't know, man. So I'm gonna wrap it up with my man Drew right here. my man got the bars and the melodies that he just grabbed from the sky. You should see this nigga right. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. So yo, it's a lot, man. So I'm gonna end it right there.
All right, Drew, what about you, bro?
Ah, man, favorite artist. All right, so I'm gonna start off with our brother Serrani. No games. That's literally our brother. That's one of those people. It's Serrani. Yeah. If Connie's is the 5th royalty statement, Serrani is the 6th, because that's our brother. We stay at his crib when we go to Jamaica and work. So I gotta put Serrani on the list. That's another one of the big homies, mentors, taught us a lot. Like people don't know that nigga's a bad producer, dog. He produced mad hits for Sean Paul, Elephant Man, mad people. So Serrani, big respect. That's my brother. He's one of my favorites.
Shout out to Serrani.
Then I'll say Wu-Tang, man. Wu-Tang is like my top favorite group of all time. My favorite rapper of all time is Ghostface.
Shout out to the W, Ghostface. Yeah. Word.
Who else? I'm gonna say Jim Jones. I'm Juan Luis Guerra. Juan Luis Guerra is one of my all-time favorite artists. I grew up listening to him. It's actually one of my goals is to meet Juan Luis Guerra. I have to meet him, and I gotta get a picture. I don't fan for a lot of people, but Juan Luis Guerra, I gotta get a picture with him. Gotta frame that. I need that.
A legend. That's a legend.
Word.
What's up?
That was a legend. That's a legend, of course.
Who else, man? I mean, that's kind of like, the list shifts. Any day you ask me this question, man, the list is gonna be a little bit different. But that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. and I'm gonna throw in my man. I'm gonna throw in Pharrell. I'm gonna throw in Pharrell because he's been just as impactful as a producer and as an artist. And Pharrell's just one of the gods.
Facts. Yeah. Definitely.
A lot of people sleep on bro.
Absolutely.
I think
Pharrell's a given, yo.
I think they sleep on Pharrell until you remind them.
Facts.
Yeah.
Then they be like,
people don't know how long
Pharrell is dope.
Around, bro. Pharrell has been around fucking with Ted. People don't even know he's the one who wrote Teddy Riley's verse in Rump Shaker.
Yeah.
He wrote that verse. Yeah, chickadee check. That's all Pharrell. That's all Pharrell. And that was what, 92, son?
Yeah, man.
It was like 92, son. That was a
People
long
don't
time.
know he's been here consistently forever, changing, influencing culture, influencing. Like if you think of all, like a lot of people put Kid Cudi. Like I feel like there's a big respect for Kid Cudi, and I love Kid Cudi too. But Pharrell is one of the forefathers of Cudi. Like Pharrell is one of the forefathers of a lot of what these like the leaders and the tastemakers right now are doing. Also even Kanye. Kanye is one of like my favorite artists. But even Kanye is taking, I feel like, bits of Pharrell's style.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and they're all sons of Q-Tip. From Tribe, that's where it all starts. Yeah. It's all Tribe. If it was no Q-Tip, I guarantee you'd be hard pressed to hear a lot of these dudes, man. Q-Tip changed everything in hip hop. You know what I mean? He's a shapeshifter, man. Oh yeah, that definitely. I mean, they come right after each. I mean, Pharrell is equally upset. You know what I mean? How much Q-Tip has influenced and Tribe Called Quest all together. And I think even in this day and age, they still don't get the props that they deserve, you know, in hip hop as they should. Because I mean, again, without Q-Tip, it's like, you know, this is what opens the door for the Kanyes, the Pharrells, the Cuddies, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. What about you, D-Melo? Like, who are some of your favorites? Oh, I'm sorry, Drew. No,
it's cool. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's like I said, man. It's one of those things. It depends on what mood you in. It changes. I like to look for inspiration. What inspires me. So I mean, Styles is always on my list. Styles P. And I could range it from hip hop to R&B to salsa. Like it don't matter. But I will say I won't put y'all on that list too, because I like what y'all do, and it made me feel. It brought back a feeling, just like people are really looking for this and feeling good about this. Like it made me feel that type of way. So I definitely put y'all on my list.
Appreciate it, and thank you so much. That means a lot.
This is what I'm listening to now, y'all. My playlist is all y'all right now.
Factory, son.
When he told, listen, there's no lie. Like when he told, as soon as I got that link, I went to work. I'm like, oh shit. Y'all, Styles, R&B, like 112, Babyface, Aventura, Sarani, Sean Paul, Vibes, Omega. The list can go on and on and on. This is hard to pick. Like I hate when he asks these questions. Like, what's your top five? Like I can't give you a top five.
I say 5, just like who you like, nigga. Damn, all right, cool.
I like you know of all people. I like everybody.
All right. No, you don't, nigga. That's a lie. You do not like everybody.
Well, you're right. But I like everybody. I give a lot of people chances though.
I like what you said. I like everybody. I just don't like everything. You know what I'm saying? So I can fuck with all those different artists. Doesn't mean I have to love their whole catalog, but I can appreciate what they do.
Always please everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody their own flavor, their own taste. You might like one thing, you might hit the next. It's all right, but you come back to it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Me, I do not like everybody. I can tell you that's straight up. There's a lot of niggas I do not like at all. So like I'm like, this is kind of good on this nigga right here. I'm super straight. Like, yo, I'm like good. Yo, when Doomy said Michael Jackson, it's funny, I laugh because that's like always like in everybody's top 5. And the funny thing about it, we would talk about him on a past podcast. It was like, when do you remember liking Michael Jackson? You just kind of grew up just loving the nigga. Like, he was just, so we like, yo, he's
programmed to like Michael.
Yo, he's like Jesus, son. You just like him. You don't know why you like him. You're just like, where did he come from? I don't even remember there was an introduction to this nigga. All I knew is I grew up and I put on loafers and white socks. And that's how I went to school, dead ass, man. Y'all, you laughing, D-Melo, dead ass. That's how I used to get ice cream in the bodega downstairs. Because the nigga downstairs, dead ass, he used to ask me to moonwalk when I was a kid. He used to be like, yo, do the moonwalk. Papi, come on. And I used to be like, what nigga? Like, yo, let me get 3 me get 3 annihilators for that shit, bro. It's like get 3 packs. Like that's how I roll. Everyone loves Mike. Like that's such a like. I don't think there's a way to not like Mike, like Prince, like these type of guys. They're like Jay, Big. You know what I mean? They're like in this world, all in this weird world, all by themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Those are the gods. Those are the people that create the culture that everybody else draws from. So again, like we were just saying, like you don't gotta like everything they did, but you have to appreciate what they did and what they mean. Because we all sonically, we're all their kids. You know what I'm saying? We're all drawing from those same inspirations. We're all trying to, even if you're not trying, you're trying to be Mike. Even if you're not trying, you're trying to be big because you grew up on that. And it's subconsciously influencing you, even when you don't realize.
Because in a weird sort of way, that's where you learn how to rap. You learn your flow listening to your favorite rapper. You learn how to bar. If somebody didn't teach you how to count a bar, whoever you listen to taught you how to count a bar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's that's learn from. That's who you're gonna build yourself until you figure yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Is there anybody that you listen to that's kind of like people will be surprised that you listen to? Like you're like, yo, I listen to this shit in my whip when I'm dolo. no one's with me in the car because I don't want niggas to like.
Nobody knows.
Change the station or you like you flip the CD, you flip the whole joint real quick. You don't know. Is there anybody y'all got that's like that?
Who you listen to, bro? Who you listen to that you embarrassed that you listen to?
I don't think for me, I don't think I have like a go-to. I think like if I'm like maybe on Spotify or some shit like that.
Go-to guilty. No guilty pleasure.
And then I hear something, then I'll probably keep it on. I can't even think of what it is, but I'll be caught up in those moments for sure. For sure.
I think my favorite guilty pleasure song is "Kiss" by Prince. When if that shit comes on, I'm rolling the windows up. But I turn into Prince though. Yo, I'm jamming, but windows all the way up. So I don't want nobody seeing me.
That's the thing. I don't care about that. My windows is down. I'm turning that shit up. I don't give a fuck. So I don't have like a guilty pleasure song. I want to say some shit that I'm embarrassed about, like because I just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, Doomy. Hardcore.
Gangsta Doomy.
Gangsta Doomy, son. Yo, for me, bro, it was Avril Lavigne, my nigga. Avril Lavigne. That you know what you're waiting for. Yo, nigga, I used to pull up to the hood out here. I used to turn that shit all the way down and roll the windows up and be in the car like, this is the hardest shit I ever heard in my life. This is so hard. I love this record. As soon as niggas get in the car, we put on this Wu-Tang real quick. About Wu-Tang a little early and shit like that. Like, nigga, why you sweating? Like, no worries. It's Avril Lavigne, dog.
Oh, yeah. Right before you park, you switch it on.
Oh, yeah. Immediately, bro. Immediately.
All of that.
Oh, yeah. Sweating and all that. Like, loving that shit, son. Loving it. You know what I mean? Like, another one of my favorite groups is like Maroon 5. Fucking love.
Yo, I love me some Maroon 5, yo. Fucking out here,
bro. Like I fucks with them on such a hard level. I just think they're so diverse with their sound and like super great. You know what I mean? Great. What about you, D Melo? Who's your guilty pleasure?
Since you've been gone, Kelly Clarkson. That's my shit, man. I roll the windows up because I can't sing, but I'm gonna sing my ass off in that shit.
And you got the 1,000 miles because white chicks.
White chicks made that shit cool. That's not guilty pleasure. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's just niggas be rocking with that shit now.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of music, bro. Like nobody can tell you shit about what the fuck you like. You just like what you like. You know what I mean? You like what you like. Like so what? You like it? So I'm gonna be like, that's cool, bro. I don't care. So as far as royalty statements, you guys' goals, like what is your goals altogether as like, you know, just within your business? Like, and I would say in the next 5 years, where would you guys like to see your company, your business, your group grow into being?
I mean, so we have goals set last year we were doing this thing. We were trying to put out a video every week. We weren't able to. You know, we fucked up. But the goal of that really was to get better and faster, to be able to make dope content at a rapid rate. And I think we got that out of last year. The goal this year, prior to this, you know, coronavirus just fucking everything up, was really to build up awareness. And that's why we've taken this time to finish this album, the Hispaniola vs. the World project. We're finishing the project, and once that's done and once we drop it, really, the goal is to go out there and preach the gospel of royalty statements, build the awareness, use this first project to make a real impact. I feel like every Haitian, every Dominican, at minimum, every Haitian and Dominican needs to know who we are and what we're doing by the time this project comes out and by the time it's really pushed. So that's the goal for now. That's this year's goal. And once we solidify that platform, the goal is to grow from there. And ultimately is to create, hopefully, a brand that creates global awareness of what we are doing and what you guys are doing, because you're doing the same thing, man. Is to let the whole world know that, yo, Hispaniolans rock with each other and we make dope shit.
Facts. You heard? That is awesome.
So when
don't forget the royalty statement though. We trying to secure some bags too, man.
For sure.
We want to get into sync licensing and all that shit, man.
But I feel like the money is the byproduct. If we're able to build the awareness and the projects are dope, the money comes with it. Like, you gotta move because of passion, not because of the bag, and the bags will come.
Excellent. Dimelo, you're gonna ask the question.
I was gonna ask when do y'all want to release finish and release the project? What do y'all think y'all want to do?
The project is almost done. The goal right now, depending on how society is, you know, the goal is for September. If shit gets bad, then maybe we push it back. But if everything, as of now, if everything progresses the way it seems to be going, the goal is to drop it by September and then go out and start really doing like a real promo run. And hopefully clubs start opening back up that we can do live events and promote the project through actual kind of pop-up parties. So we want to go to Atlanta and do a Haitian Dominican party. We want to go to New York and do a Haitian Dominican party. Down here, we had a party. Last year, we had a monthly party. And we grew that and it became nice. We just didn't have this project to tie in with it. Now the goal is to use this project, Hispaniola versus the World, as the core and be able to put out visual content, the music, and do live activations that actually bring people together. But that's obviously contingent on if coronavirus keeps fucking shit up.
Right. So is any of the music that's already out going to be on this project, or is it brand new music all the way through?
The only song that's out already that's part of the project is Dale Mambo.
Okay.
Other than that song, is going to be all new music.
That's definitely a good way to start it, though. That's definitely a good way to start it.
That's the joint.
Yeah, we had to include that, man. That's the foundation. That's the one that like made people kind of understand what we're doing.
Amazing. Unbelievable. That is so good. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm just putting it out there. I think with everybody right now on this live, I say if not by the end of the year, early next year, I say we do a fucking tour. I say we rock out. I say all of us, we all take our cruise.
Incredible. I'm down.
And I'm like,
say less.
Like, I say we pick venues and we do exactly what you guys are saying. Let's bring it together. And I think like rocking out some crowds and bringing a production to these people, I think that they wouldn't even know what to do if they saw. I think that would be phenomenal.
Let's get it, man. Let's talk about it and let's figure it out. Let's start planning. That's the only way it actually happens, man. We actually start planning it.
Planning is everything.
Absolutely.
Planning is everything. All that stuff in front of the camera look easy, but shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Absolutely. So as far as just like outside of music, let's talk outside of music. Just with you guys, how do you guys survive creating your music? And here's the reason why I asked that. Like, we talk to a lot of new artists a lot of the times, whether we're out at some venues or, you know, we're at events out here, and younger artists, or just artists in general, I don't even say younger artists, just artists in general, pardon me, the difficulty I think a lot of artists have is the fact that they want their art to be their living, but their actual living is taking away from their art. Does that make sense? Like, it's like they're working a job, and it's like, I'm fucking doing this to try to plug into my music and put my money into it, but at the same time, it's taking away from me being able to put in enough time to focus on my music. And like, you guys are at you guys' studio right now. You guys are at your own establishment. Yeah. So how do you guys balance that? Like, just surviving regularly and, you know, doing your own things personally, and then having enough time to invest in your craft?
So for us, we're blessed that we're at a place right now, like, all we do is this. We own the studio. The studio is our primary source of income. We do audio and visual projects. But it's not always making the shit that we like to make, right? We take clients. So sometimes we have corporate clients where we'll go and we'll shoot video content for different types of businesses. We record podcasts, we record artists. Not every artist that comes to record to the studio is somebody that we enjoy, but they're clients.
Hey,
they're paying
time.
Yeah, they book time, and that's how we're able to make a living. But to the point of what you were making with people struggling with balancing kind of the creative side and the work side, I think what winds up happening is people say they're struggling with balancing their time, but really, they're not putting the proper amount of time into the creative side. If you go and work a 9-to-5 gig, there's nothing wrong with that. Work that gig, get your money. But what are you doing after 5 o'clock? Are you going home? Are you taking a nap? Are you on PlayStation? Are you on Xbox till midnight? Or are you perfecting your craft? Because you still got a whole solid window of time. If all you have is 5 hours a day that you can work on your craft, are you utilizing those 5 hours properly? Or are you bullshitting yourself and bullshitting other people? And I think that's the difference. If all you have is that little window, use it properly, and you'll start to see that it opens up more and more and more. Before we opened up the studio, we were still working regular jobs. We were still figuring shit out. We were booking time at other people's studios. And we got to a point where we said, all right, the money we're spending is now not worth it. Now is the time for us to build our own business and use that to bring money to seed what the overall vision is.
Beautiful. How long did it take you guys to create that, to kind of get to this point right now where you guys are using your talents, your skills, your craft in your studio to monetize it, to make a living? How long did it take you guys to do that?
Well, I mean, from the beginning, before we opened the studio, was about a year. And then once we decided to make the studio, we actually built the studio ourselves. And then the studio wasn't profitable at first. It was like a 3-year process before we were able to even have the studio be self-sufficient. But we dedicated the time necessary. Even right now, like, the studio's been open for about 3 years now, and we're in the middle of a renovation to keep it fresh. Like, the idea is, like, don't get comfortable with being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, try and make what you have work, and then try to make it better. And I think that's what we try to embody. That's when he was talking about brotherhood, culture, hustle. Those are like our 3 pillars. And we're always trying to hustle, and we're always trying to figure out what the next hustle can be.
The next move.
Get us closer to the overall goal.
Awesome.
Dope.
Awesome. D-Melo, you had a question?
No, I was just giving praises. The dope.
Appreciate that, man.
I can't, because what I'm about to ask, he already answers while he's already speaking. I'm like, all right, well, there you go.
I think our next big goal, to kind of tie into what you had said before, right? The next goal is now to make royalty statements full time. Right now, we have the studio. We have to work at the studio. We have to run sessions. We have to personally go out and shoot videos. We have to personally edit. And that's cool. That's where we are right now. But to your question of like the 5-year goal, the 5-year goal is to have a bigger, better studio with a staff. So we can go out and be creative and fund that to keep it kind of cycling into the business.
Absolutely.
So, in your process, is there anything outside of music and directing that y'all want to get into?
Good question.
Yeah, yo, we trying to buy back the block, yo.
I'm with it.
Investments and all that.
Yeah.
Word up.
Honestly, we've been talking about buying land a lot recently. That I think has been, for me, the biggest thing. Like, yo, they always say buy land, they're not making any more of it. So yeah. I feel like we want to buy land, and the idea is to secure a financial future. But, you know, I feel like for me, at least personally, the goal is just to be able to be creative in different environments, man. Yeah. I just want to be able to be creative and be able to make a good living doing that.
Amen.
Making money doing what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, man.
That's the goal.
Facts.
Factory. Dave Chappelle had one of the, I think, an amazing quote. It wasn't a quote, but it was something he said in one of his specials when he was like, you know, he was telling his father he wanted to be a comedian. And his father was like, well, how do you know that you're going to make it? And then he told his father, well, what's the definition of you making it? He's like, if I can make $30,000, what I would make making a teacher salary doing what I love doing, well, then I feel that I've made it. I think a lot of the times, you know what I mean? And I've been guilty of this too. You kind of think of this elaborate ideal. Like, I think, like, you know, when I was younger, I thought about this elaborate thing, like, yo, if I make it, that means it's mad bread and all of this shit and cribs and a bunch of stupid shit, right? Like stuff that's like not even really realistic to most artists that are flashing all that bread on fucking Instagram and using money as phones and shit, all kinds of dumb shit, right? None of that is actually realistic. But being able, if I'm like, I can make my salary doing exactly what I love, well, then I've made it 10 times over because I'm doing exactly what I love doing.
Bro, they're not working.
You're not working, exactly.
I'll say about a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, my younger brother was giving me like props, just congratulating me, like, damn, bro, yo, you're doing your thing, man. You're doing it, yo. Congrats. I'm so happy for you. And I was like, yeah, you know, man, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. And my younger brother told me, yo, stop saying you're trying. You're selling yourself short. He said, you're not where you want to be yet, but you're doing what you want to do, and you're being a success at it. So I had to reevaluate, because I think we get into a place a lot of times of like wanting to be humble when people give us props, and we don't want to just take the props. We feel like we've been programmed to feel like we have to diminish our own value to show that we appreciate the compliment.
100%. Yeah,
it can't be that. If somebody tells you, yo, you're doing it, yo, thank you. I am doing it. I appreciate that you noticed it. Guess what? This is not where it ends. Now, I want to increase. I want to get better. But yeah, I am doing it. And thank you for noticing.
Facts. That is a beautiful, beautiful point, man. And I'm super guilty. Super guilty of doing that. Like, I'm like, yo, when it comes down to people, I'm the type of dude that almost gets embarrassed about it. Like, I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, like, yo, my brother used to, it's funny your brother told you that. My brother used to tell me, because I have a brother, my older brother, right? There's a lot of us. My brother right before me, he's like the super competitive, like, asshole kind of nigga. Like, if he's going to dunk on you, he's going to be like, and I did it, nigga. I dunked on you. I dunked on you. Me. Look at my face. I did it. And I'm the total opposite. I'm like, yeah, I might have did it and be like, it was cool, kind of shit. It could have been better. And you're right, you kind of do sell yourself short by doing that, and you do diminish the things that you can bring to the table. For some reason, it always seems like, to me, I'm always thinking that maybe it's not enough, because it's always a comparison thing. Like, I'm like, damn, maybe this is not enough compared to what other people are doing. But then what other people are doing? It was really just the opportunities they had. Maybe they got into somewhere. And a lot of people, I don't use the word luck very often, but a lot of the times they just ended up at the right place in the right time, and it boom, and it happened. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. There's definitely like the coincidence of success, but I think more often than not, it's what we were talking about earlier about being consistent. I think if you're consistent, you put yourself in a position to have those coincidences happen more often.
Right. Factory. D-Malo, your thoughts, my brother?
Man, I'm loving this. I'm having a good time.
Woo! Super sauce.
No. Because I'm taking in a lot too. I'm learning, so I just sit back and just feel the vibe, and I'm learning a lot. So I'm enjoying it. I love it. So.
This is one of all these interviews we've done. This has been one of the better ones. Like one of the ones where I think there's been a good, and it's funny because we're doing this on Zoom. I feel like if this was in person, like man, we'd be dying.
No, we would have been done.
It would have been a whole rap, bro.
Yeah.
It would have been
like,
a rap.
I can't breathe.
Son, I'm telling you.
This shit has been good, man. It's been real good. I appreciate that you guys invited us to do this, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I appreciate you guys being open and listening and giving back to keep this convo going in a way that feels good. And I feel like if people watch this, the people that watch this are gonna get something out of it.
I agree, my brother. I agree, man.
I will hope so.
Definitely so, man. I thank you guys again for, just jumping on Sonik Gemz podcast and just kind of, being able to do this. Trust me, bro, like the fact that you guys did this, I thought was like amazing. I thought you guys were cool to do this. So you'd be surprised how many people I reach out to that are kind of like, they kind of just curve me. They're like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not really like, so on and so forth. I don't know what it's going to be like. So I'm like, is this going to be a couple of cool niggas talking about cool shit? Like, I don't know how much, what else does it have to be? It doesn't have to be complicated. Like, I'm like, we're not doing math problems. We're just having conversation. You know what I mean? And then sometimes some people feel like they're at a certain place, and because you're not there at this time, that eventually, like it's not worth it. To me, I look at life as, everyone, it's a give and take. We're all gonna give to each other and take from each other in so many different ways. And I appreciate you guys for, being open, and we will always continue to support you guys and continue to give you props and continue to support you guys to the fullest.
Same here.
Y'all family now.
You already know, bro. Trust me, we about to pull up. It's about to be a whole problem for niggas out here.
Let us know.
Listen,
It's about to be a problem.
Florida's open. Let us know when y'all coming down.
Son, it's nothing but a word, bro. It's nothing but a word, bro. It is nothing but a word. You know what's, sidebar, what's really, really dope? I probably should have said, but you know what's really, really dope? Have you guys went out to LA yet?
Nah, not yet. That was one of the things on the list that coronavirus fucked up.
Yeah, and I went out there like once, but that was like early DJ days. It wasn't no moves. Like this year, we wanted to go. That was part of one of the trips, is to go out there and touch some people.
That's a fact. And the reason I even brought LA up was because, we've been to LA, and LA has there's this vibe, bro. Like everybody is on the same wave. Flock, am I bullshitting?
Nope, not at all.
I believe it.
Everybody we met was on the same frequency.
Everybody's on the same wave. It's like I never been anywhere where there's like a super like deep community of artists. That's like and artists in different ways. It could be painters, it could be this, it could be that, and musicians, and everyone is kind of like trying to find their way. And they're like open to collaborating and talking. It's like, yeah, let's meet up, let's do this. And it's very difficult to find people that have similar thoughts and interest to do that. So that's another reason why I give you guys so much props for it. Not only because we're Haitians, Dominicans, we're from Hispaniola, we're all running the same kind of race. We're all trying to bring this unity thing and bringing, our countries together, which is on the same fucking plot of land, like trying to trying to bring this whole thing into fruition but just moreover as people of color that have an ideal about, you know, just how they see the next 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because y'all gonna, in the next 20 years, even maybe before that, y'all gonna find the next royalty statements.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Y'all gonna find we're gonna find the next flock, the next H1. We're gonna find the next ones that are gonna come up. And it's our job to be able to let them know, you know, hopefully they'll see the seeds of the shit that we're doing. You know what I mean? And they'll be able
They
to
will, man. They will.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yo,
Yeah.
it's to what we were saying. As long as we're consistent, people are gonna notice. As long as we stay consistent, we're gonna make the impact we want. It's just up to us to really decide how bad we want to make that impact, and really, really don't just talk about it, but live it.
yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. Well, guys, man, look, again, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast.
Thank you, brothers. I appreciate
Thank
everything.
you so much for taking them. It up,
Round of
definitely.
applause for all of us. Round of applause.
Clapping it up. This was probably one of my favorite ones, man. This one was super, super duper dope, man. Super duper dope. I'm so happy, man, you guys jumped on and was able to come through. And yo, what do you guys have going on next? I mean, outside of this whole Corona shit, fuck the Corona shit right now, but like, what do you guys got going on next? What's something? I know you guys got the, you know, the Hispaniola versus everybody, but what else do you guys got going on? Anything you want to let them know?
That's the focus right now. Hispaniola versus the world. Hispaniola versus the world. That's the focus right now. We finishing up the record that we were talking about earlier with Jim Jones. We finishing up some of the Connie's records. We finishing up the Serrani joints, and then sending that to mix, getting the merch ready, and God willing, the world is back to kind of normal. We can go out there and do that tour, man.
Facts. You already know.
Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, put my email on that list, so wherever y'all at, if it's close to Atlanta, I'm in there like swimwear.
I appreciate that. Sure. All right.
I'll Dale Mambo on the stage with y'all if y'all need
Factory. Loving it.
Brothers, thank you so much.
Man, bless you.
Guys,
thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Podcast. You already know what it is. H1, Mr. DeMelo, royalty statements. Do me. Drew in the building. Make sure y'all go support them in anything that they do. You know what I mean? It's a great mission. It's a great group of guys, man. And I want you to continue to do great things. We're going to continue to pray for you because God is first. We put that first in everything. That's the most important, you know what I mean? And we continue to keep striving and keep doing your thing. And yo, y'all got us, man. We got y'all. Let's make it happen. Sonik Gemz, you already know.
Real quick, tell everybody where they can find y'all, y'all links, all of that good stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
Website is royaltystatements.tv, and on social is royalty statements, at royalty statements on everything.
Royalty statements.
Can't get it wrong.
Everything. You already know. Make sure you go follow them online, Instagram, Facebook, Pornhub, the whole joint. I'm lying. The whole joint. My guys, thank you so much, my brothers. Thank you so much, man.
Peace, Kings. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all again.
All right.
You goody?
Yeah, I gotta pee. Oh, I just said that on the shit. It's still recording.
Word?
I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up right now, all right?
All right.
All right.